getting started here. So I'm doing match evening for our two teams. They are the Bandits Reaper. And for a while. Looks like some of these names maybe were from team. Coming right up. Okay. The stars format by now. We're of 5. Okay. Teams are ready. And let's get that started. So there's 1v1 to start this off. Coliseum. Both players are in identical trial mechs. The Marauder 2C, which has and I believe 6 ER medium lasers on that build. And they have no skill points or anything in that nature, so this is going to be who can shoot the straightest, because you know it's putting as things get. And here now, the interesting thing is that this trial mech, like being a mech, is actually a stock engine. Yeah, so 6 ER mediums, 2 ER large, and those 2 ER large lasers are their torso. So if these players, I don't know what the meta is yet. It might shoot out the CT of might. But they will either both legs head to the center so to destroy the mech. They do not destroy the torsos, and even taking out the side torsos does not give a heat spike that you get when shooting out the side torsos. A first trade here. Across the torso. Yeah, nothing terrific yet for early damage, just some trade. Players elected to take the ramp. So Team Optic electing for the ramp versus a round into the in terms of damage. Slightly Sniperman 62. Reaper is actually the team for the Bandits Reaper Squadron. So we won this week. Now what those 90% still? Yeah, let's get that battle grid out of the way here. Normally grid is a very nice tool to have, but right now there's only 2. I'm not really thinking. I imagine that they were initially trading outside of the range of need. ER meads into optimal range. Both playing low ground over a moving up, but I thought that they were winning those initial trades, so they are down percentage 70% to 75%. Open side torso on Squadron. Now so that side torso will number of heat sinks. It doesn't spike and it doesn't. Crescent Reaper still has both side torsos. EDR medium lasers are advantage here for the additional cooling. Sniper Man's open CT, 32%. Crescent Reaper's lost a side torso. Second side torso's barely hanging on. Let's see, next shot. Sniper Man's
Control the surface. Can anyone read?
players 11. 4 torsos, 4 legs. And let's get up the stats here from that previous drop. Okay, next player is in the lobby now. So yeah, Crescent Reaper just put out more damage than Sniper in the previous drop. Not in the lead, so I guess some damage going on. Our next drop is a clan mech. All these mechs are clan. We have 1 assault and 1 medium on the mech factory. Okay, I'm being told my mic is broken. So it looks like it's working. Oh no. Yeah, I've got a microphone issue. I'm trying to fix it here. You know, I'm gonna have to wait 5 minutes to find out what's wrong. I don't see any issues on my line connection, so if it's not fixed in 5 minutes, then I don't know what's going on. Sorry about that. Okay, teams are ready to go, so I'm going to launch and find out if my microphone is broken or not in a few minutes. Unfortunately, I don't have a co-caster I can ask if there's a mic issue in Discord. So I have to wait for the stream delay here to run out. Just going to keep the match rolling. So we've got a Nova here from the Crescent Reapers. Ulysses is taking Small Pulse, Heavy Machine Gun, ER Micro Laser, and a Direwolf with LBX-20, Ultra 20, and 3 SRM-6s there from Master Pig. And over on the Sky Rangers of Terra, they have a Splat Huntsman, 8 SRM-6, no Artemis, and then the Keeper. Oh, that's interesting. A beam fell down. The Keeper's got 2 LBX-20 and a whole bunch of SRM-6s with Artemis. I actually like that Direwolf build in here. That's going to be a brutal brawler. Keeper's probably going to need to get a little bit closer there in order to mitigate the spread issues. Paquette is coming in on the flank there. We have a Direwolf versus a Highlander brawl here. That Direwolf likely has more armor and bigger burst. Now, it's a pair of 1v1s right now. Highlander's open CT, but the Nova has gone down. Direwolf is still looking relatively healthy, but that Huntsman is now coming in on the back end. Highlander maybe just needs a twist here to try and stay alive. Protect that center torso. Direwolf is open on the right torso. The right torso has an Ultra 20, which has been either jammed or crit out. The Highlander's down. The Direwolf is probably overheating by now, I would imagine. And that side torso is open. The Direwolf is halved. How's that Huntsman looking? Huntsman picks up the win here. And the Paquette has nothing open at the moment. 69% there on Black Cayman, but the mech is looking good. I don't know if there's still a mic issue or not. I need to wait a little bit longer on that stream delay. My apologies if it's bad. Then I will, I guess, go on a silent cast. At least you have the game sounds. Okay, I'm still trying to work on that mic issue here, but we're on to the next map. Is going to be Boreal Reach, and it is 1 heavy and 1 light on each team. The interesting thing about Boreal Reach is that it can be played as a range map if people elect to do so. It sounds like maybe my mic is fixed now, so it must have been a loose connection. Sorry about that. Okay, last drop we had one survivor, so the losing team there, the Bandits Reaper Squad, did pick up 2 points there for getting the kill on the Highlander 2C. But Black came in putting out 600 damage, actually out-damaging that nasty build that Master Pig's Direwolf was running. That Huntsman is no slouch either for high DPS burst, it just has a little bit of spread on it. And Black came in coming out with a win there for their team. And we're bringing in players for the next one. Both teams are ready to go, so let's just get this rolling. We're looking at the Bandit squad coming in here. We have a Night Gear H with 5 Ultra 5s and a Piranha with 15 Micro Pulse Lasers. That is a very high DPS build. See if we can get in there. We have an Orion from Optic Seagull, and that is that's an interesting build. 1 LBX-20, 4 medium pulse. That sounds undergunned to me, but it looks to be moving quite fast. It does have a mask as well. And the Kit Fox has 6 SRM-6s and no Artemis on that. There's going to be some spread, but they are just looking to get in there and hug some faces, it looks like. So it's a range versus brawl, but that Piranha's got to play it very, very careful. Now going in to distract, the Night Gear's dropped down. Interesting decision there from the Night Gear to get closer into this fight against those, I don't know why. Night Gear, they're going legs here. Optic Seagull has opened up and removed the leg off of the Night Gear. Night Gear's legged. Piranha is going after the Kit Fox. Kit Fox is legged. Now, the Piranha doesn't really have range to kite this out. The Night Gear being down, it's all up to the Piranha here to see if they can maybe find a way to separate the Kit Fox and the Orion. Maybe pick up the kill on the Kit Fox at least, or even kite this out. Optic Seagull has nothing open right now on their Orion. We have a strike being launched at the location the Piranha had evacuated. Now, how's that Piranha doing? Looks like they just took a big hit there, Night Wraith, in that quick little Piranha here. There we go. So an arm is missing. That's a single micro pulse. Not a big deal. The open leg is much more concerning to me. Piranha's at 57%. Spread damage on that LBX-20 likely partially responsible for that. Now the Kit Fox is Piranha's leg. Maybe nope. Kit Fox does not go down. That's 2 points that maybe just diving the Kit Fox would have worked out better, but playing for the win, trying to take out that Orion 2C skull just did not end up working out. All right, we're going to be starting up with the 5v5s right shortly here. Oh, is this updating? Let me do a refresh on this maybe. There we go. First map up is going to be Solaris City. And we're playing at the Epsilon cap, which is off to the side of the map, not the center theta cap that most people would be familiar with from Quick Play. Interesting note about the Boreal Reach 2v2 is that the Piranha actually had the highest damage, 331 damage out of that 20-ton mech, just a high DPS mech. And initially it was not being focused well, that Night Gear was still alive. It's when the Night Gear went down that Piranha really didn't have the opportunity to do all that much more. So out of those 2v2s, if I've done the points right here, Team Optic picks up a total of 12 points. That would be 8 points for the kills, and then 5 points for, or 4 points for winning the two of the 2v2s. So 2 points for winning a 2v2, and then 2 points for a kill in the 2v2. And then the 1v1 was actually won by the Bandits Reaper Squadron. So they get 3 points, which is 2 points for winning the drop and 1 point for the kill. Oh no, sorry, no. They got 2 points for the 1v1, 1 for winning the 1v1, 1 for the kill in the 1v1. Then they picked up 2 points for a kill. Is the 1v1 only worth a single point? That must be it. Because they got 2 points for picking up a kill on the second map there that they were fighting on. And I just noticed I have an issue here with the overlay. There we go. I had the wrong week selected there. So on Mech Factory, they picked up 1 kill that was worth 2 points, and then they won the 1v1, so they have 3 points total. All right, I should know this stuff. I need to reread the rules a third time and maybe actually remember it this time. I'm supposed to move someone? No, they're joking. Okay, good. Alright. Okay. Both teams are getting ready here. There's it's 5v5 and it's a 200-ton limit. There's no restrictions in terms of weight classes. It's just whatever you want up to 200 tons. But they cannot use the same chassis more than 4 times. So it does force a little bit of and that's throughout the entire match. So if they use say 4 Vipers in the first drop here, they can't use any more Vipers going on for the remainder of the match. But beyond that, there aren't very many restrictions here in terms of the allowed mechs beyond the, clan mechs only. Okay, alright, looks like everybody's readied up, 200 tons both teams, and we're dropping into Solaris City, going for that Epsilon cap point. If there are any more stream issues, let me know. I won't know until 5 minutes later, but I do try to keep an eye on the chat so that I can try and fix things before it's, long past too late. This map does not have the best frame rates for myself and probably just about every player here in the match. Let's take a look here at the Epsilon cap point. It's located behind one of these larger buildings with a number of smaller lower terrain buildings as well. So jump jets can be very valuable. If you don't have jump jets, you end up getting bunched up into these tight choke points. Let's go take a look at the builds. Crescent Reapers here in the, Bandits Reaper Squadron here in the red. We have a Viper, Micropulse, 11 of those, no machine guns, 10 Micropulse on the next Viper. Arctic Wolf with 5 SRM-6 Artemis. That is one of the Omni-Mech Arctic Wolves, so it could have jump jets. Another Viper, that one has a mix of heavy machine guns and lasers. And what is the fourth Viper? Fourth Viper is Micropulse. So 3 of those Vipers are Micropulse, no machine guns. 1 Viper has machine guns for the Bandits Reaper Squadron. Looking at the Optic Seagulls, we have Vipers with heavy machine guns and lasers. Standard machine guns and lasers, that would be ER Meads and heavy machine guns. ER Meads, interesting choice. Might give a range advantage on this drop. Heavy smalls and standard machine guns, and then an Arctic Wolf. That is the non-Omni-Mech Arctic Wolf 1, which is just pure splat, no jump jets. We have the brawl starting off here. Optic Seagull backing out as they were a little bit ahead of their team. A lot of machine gun fire, a lot of purple lasers going off here as well. No clear, obvious target to begin with. Oh, Crescent Reaper's gone in and is being focused down. Both legs are still attached to the mech. They have managed to get back out of that choke point. And it looks like maybe one of these Arctic Wolves, Black Cayman, looks like they're moving slow. First mech down is Crescent Reaper with that Viper. I imagine the legs were removed. Black Cayman's moving at, still looks relatively healthy at 50% there, but nothing lost. Arctic Wolf from Master Pig is legged. Night Wraith goes down. It looks like Optic Seagull, maybe a little bit better focus fire here. They are coming up with the advantage. Master Pig is getting cleaned up in the background here. Black Cayman still running around 40% in their Arctic Wolf. 2 kills go the way of the Reaper Squadron. So now it is 3v versus 2, but Ulysses is legged in their Viper. I imagine they're going to be going down shortly. Leg is being doing a decent job of shielding that left leg there. Wow, that mech lived a lot longer than I was expecting. So Black Tack is the last mech remaining for the Reaper Squadron. They're looking relatively fresh, but it is a 3v1 situation now. But every kill here that Black Tack can pick up is worth 2 points. They do seem to be looking for the weakest mech to try and get an angle on. Trying to pull up the damage totals here for some of the potential victims of Black Tack as they attempt to make the comeback. The cap is being taken. One of the mechs has left the fight for Sky Ranges of Terra, the Team Optic. Interesting choice there. I don't know if it's heavily wounded or if it is... Black Tack's been legged. Servonis went for the cap and managed to actually stay alive. A little bit risky turning the 3v1 into a 3v or a 2v1, but cap kept the mech alive, which allowed
Artillery strike
a points denial, almost out of machine gun ammo as well. So maybe it was the correct choice there to withdraw and deny the opponents from getting points, as opposed to keeping the mech in the fight. So Team Optic comes up with a win here. Just need to wait for the cap points to take over. Well played from both teams. It was, both teams did a decent job of rotating their armor, trying to get their focused mechs out of the fight, toward the back of the fight, that is, not completely out of it, and bring their fresher mechs back in. But a little bit better focus fire there from Team Optic ends up carrying the day. Any second now, the cap points are going to take over.
Command confirming that we have possession of Kappa.
Okay, quick and brief damage recap from the previous drop. Tone Lock going down first, I imagine, only putting up 70 points. Usually that indicates that they were the primary focus target. Black Cayman was getting low percentage there on Team Optic. Their mech was running around at 50% with lots of weaponry and armor. Well, not a lot of armor, but no open components, putting out 300 damage there before going down. Optic Seagull putting out 300 as well, and coming up with a pair of kills, leading their team to victory. Over on the Bandits Reaper Squadron, they have Black Tack in the Viper at the end there, putting out 384 damage. Ulysses in their Viper was putting up 300 as well. Master Pig in the Arctic Wolf putting up 300, and a little bit lower damage totals on the remaining two Vipers, which I imagine were, earlier deaths there. Just didn't manage to pick up that last kill that would have been worth 2 points on Sevronius at 31% there at the end of the game, which, if you get that kill, that's 2 points. So that's a pretty big deal. And sometimes maybe shifting your focus from shooting the guys with weapons to shooting the mechs that are about to die is worth it when it looks like a fight is not going your way. Switching from the win the drop mentality to the win the match mentality, as every kill is worth some amount of points. And interesting to know, both teams have used up all their Vipers. They have no Vipers remaining in terms of their chassis pool, so we won't be seeing any more Vipers, but we're also heading up in tonnage. This next drop is going to be on Grim Plexus, and we are up to 300 tons now for those teams to build their drop deck. And 300 tons is actually plenty, so we should be seeing a number of heavies, possibly some mediums and lights mixed in there as well. I mean, you could see 560-ton mechs being played at the 300-ton drop limit. There's no 60-ton mech that stands out in my mind as being definitively meta, the same way that the 200-ton limit, everybody immediately starts thinking about Arctic Wolves and Vipers because, you know, obviously Arctic Wolves and Vipers, but, you know, at 60 tons for the clans, you've got the Mad Dog and the Hellfire, and neither of those, we're not going to see a team running 5 in a mix of that. I don't anticipate. I would be rather surprised. But we have a lock here from Team Optic at 295 tons, electing to be 5 tons under. Their opponents have bid even lower, and they are taking the Bandits Reaper Squadron. Is taking only 290 tons. Both teams are electing to run under tonnage. Now, 5 tons, 10 tons, it doesn't really matter. But that, you know, you want to take perhaps something meta as opposed to taking all of your tonnage. And we'll see what their picks are here. Now, the cap point that they are fighting over on this map is going to be at Epsilon once again. Just waiting for the dropship to come in. And we're looking at, that is 4 linebackers. All of the linebackers for Team Optic are going to be used up on this drop, and they've brought in, is that an adder? Linebacker SRM6, linebacker SRM6, no Artemis on these, so they will have to face hug. Small pulse linebacker, 9 small pulse, and 10 small pulse on the other linebacker. So that is fast and brawly with a mix of small pulse, focus damage, and SRM splat damage. This is an adder. It is indeed Black came in an adder B with 4 SRM6 with Artemis. The adder is going to be running the same speed as those linebackers, so they're just going to be looking to get in and get the kills. They're not going to be playing any sort of control or cap game. Now, on Crescent, the Bandits Reaper Squadron, we have a Piranha with 15 micropulse, Hellfire with 6 medium pulse, Summoner with 8 SRM6 and 2 SRM2. Fire that in a group of... we've got 2 of those Summoners on the field, and then a Summoner G. The Summoner G has a center torso energy hardpoint. The Summoner B has a 2% top speed quirk, I believe. So the G's would be because they do not have B's, if you can follow that. Slightly suboptimal, not a big deal. But yeah, they've got the same build on all 3 of their Summoners. That is a big splat build. Yeah, they have to fire in 2 groups to avoid the ghost heat, but... oh, we've got maybe an early fight here. The Piranha should have the speed to get out from those linebackers, but they're getting that information that was perhaps desired. Anything slower than a Piranha, like if that was an adder or something of that nature, likely that Wraith would have been caught. Night Wraith? Okay, I got it. A little bit slow, but, you know, I'll get there eventually. Piranha does not have jump jets. The Hellfire does not have jump jets, but the Summoners do. But they're not playing range, so I'm not entirely sure why they've gone around the backside here of Epsilon. So Bandits Reaper Squadron does need to get in there eventually. Now what we have here is slow brawl versus fast brawl. Not that the Summoner is actually slow, but in this case it is slower than the linebacker. So they should have more cooling or more weaponry once they get into that brawl situation. So it's going to be up to Team Optic to try and find an angle to get in using their speed toward their advantage. I mean, Team Optic had spotted the mechs crossing, had they not? So they should know that it's a lot of summoners. They're positioned in such a way that I'm not really sure why the linebackers are spread out trying to get a scout there. Summoners have definitely been spotted now. The Sky Rangers of Terra, they do know now where the Bandit Reaper Squadron mechs are approaching from. Now, do they elect to charge in, or do they want to hold back? They do have the cap advantage here. No, Team Optic is going to be pushing in. Now, one of their linebackers is a little bit behind. Optic Seagulls maybe going in slightly early ahead of their teammates, taking a lot of damage to the leg, getting back out, rotating that armor. Very well done. Now, Crescent Reaper has taken a lot of damage in their Summoner G as well. Open leg on both of those mechs. The difference here is that Crescent Reaper hasn't fully rotated out. Now, there is a big strike coming in here on the linebackers. Black Cayman is taking a lot of damage in that adder. Rear side torso blown off, and one of the legs is open for Black Cayman. The adder has made it out. They've gotten around the corner. The damage lead looks to be favoring the Bandit Reaper Squadron right now. Ulysses is leading the way and is legged. So that is one-legged Summoner. Summoner goes down. Crescent Reaper has both legs open. Now, Tonelock has been legged as well. That might be the return kill that the Bandit Reaper Squadron is looking for. Tonelock is down. Crescent Reaper is legged. And Ben 10 has also gone down by the legs. Now, that adder for Black Cayman is still alive. That might be a time to rotate to the... Well, the rest of the team is not looking very healthy either for Sky Rangers of Terra. Now, they're rotating their damage mechs out, and they're running in their healthy linebacker who has a single open leg. And they're trying to preserve points here, it looks like. That's what I'm seeing with this play, keeping Optic Seagull and Black Cayman out of the fight. Both of the linebackers are open leg. Now, Fro here with the medium pulses on that Hellfire has the pinpoint damage to perhaps get the legs here and carry this to a win. Night Wraith was running... Oh, Night Wraith side torso destruction perhaps there with the overheat. They're running distraction here for that Hellfire. Hellfire needs to pull range, keep that leg alive. That is their only hope. Hellfire is legged. Fro 420 is going to go down here. Maybe they can pick up one more kill. No. So there was a very real possibility there for the Hellfire to break out, outrun the legged mechs, leg the remaining linebacker here from Optic Seagull that was not legged, and then outside of SRM range, pick off the remaining legs on both of those linebackers and pick up the win. There was a chance, but ultimately did not manage to find the space. The terrain wasn't favorable. It would have been a tall ask. With the Piranha there was some hope yet. Once the Piranha went down, it was possible, but it would have been a very big carry. Now that adder did stay alive. Black Cayman rotating to the back lines and denying the points from the Crescent Reaper Squadron, or Bandits Reaper Squadron. I'm going to get that name right someday. Maybe even by the end of the cast. Sky Rangers of Terra pick up another win. They're doing a fairly solid job here of picking up points. Point totals in my count here are 40 in the favor of Team Optic and 7 in the for Bandits Reaper Squadron. Now I need to rotate the team sides. Take a quick... Next drop up is going to be 400 tons on Polar Highlands. I've got a couple Discord messages, but they don't seem to be important. Hopefully nothing's broken on the stream. I was going to bring this up earlier, but teams have just been playing drop after drop. They're all ready to go. Don't need to wait around for them. Coming into this, Bandit Reaper Squadron had 51 points to Team Optic's 25 points. So this is, right now, what we're witnessing is the Team Optic getting the points to pull themselves back up into this division. Now, Reaper Squadron still has a chance here to try and not even out the match. I believe it's a maximum of 14 points per drop that they can earn, so they cannot surpass Team Optic anymore. Team Optic has won the match for whatever it's worth, but this is a points division, so every kill, every drop win, that helps you as we get to the end of the season here. So they want to close that gap as much as possible through the remaining portion of this map, or this match, sorry. Talking's hard, okay? Yeah. I'll do better, though. So I didn't run through the damage from last drop, did I? Got a little bit of time here. Do I have it up on screen? I did remember to do that. Excellent. So first thing I want to point out, Black came in their Adder B. Very unconventional pick, and they put out 341 damage, but more importantly, at 23%, they were still alive. And that is 2 points that could have gone the way of the Bandits Reaper Squadron. So good job rotating out to the back line. And then a good strategic decision for the Skyranger's Terra team, deciding to send in their 2 healthy linebackers, holding their Adder and the more damaged linebacker in reserve in order to prevent any more kills going down. Now, again, when we come into the last weeks of the division, this may or may not end up mattering for placement between these two teams. That, Skyranger's Terra ended up denying points from the Bandits Reaper Squadron in week 2 might matter in week 5 and at the end of the season. So well played there. Top damage actually going out to the summoners on the Bandits Reaper Squadron, Crescent Reaper and Ben 10, playing those splat summoners. A lot of spread damage though, so maybe, it wasn't. When you have those clan SRM 6s without Artemis, they just tend to go everywhere. So lots of damage, but wasn't necessarily taking the kills that they needed. Row 420 in the Hellfire with 6 medium pulse didn't end up cleaning up the match, but they did put out 460 damage before going down. Night Wraith in the Prana with 300, quite respectable. Ulysses in the Summoner with 350. So overall, the Bandit Reaper Squadron did more damage in this drop, but the spread on that and perhaps the hitboxes, the Summoner legs are rather fat. Maybe that ended up being a factor here with those linebackers, with Sniper Man 672 putting out 472. The other linebackers 380, 216, 160. 160 in living though for Optic Seagull, taking a lot of damage early and then I guess just withdrawing from the fight almost completely. lower damage totals, I guess better focused fire or more accurate shooting, and that isn't necessarily the player's aim. That could just be the weaponry. Okay, lots of complaining about my mic to start off with, which, I completely understand, but I don't see any complaints with the mic now, so I'm going to pretend that it's all good. And if it isn't, I'll have to find out and try to fix that before tomorrow when I'm coming back with some more casting. I've got a couple of Div A matches lined up that I will be doing on this channel, and I'm not playing in them, but I'm casting them. So if you're interested in watching more comp, give the channel a follow, and that will be in, if I can do quick math here, 16 hours I believe is when I start. So yeah, we've got a lock from Team 1. They are bringing the full 400 tons, just waiting for Team 2 to lock. Team 2 is hovering at 400 tons as well. That is the maximum tonnage on this drop. We're going to Polar Highlands, and we're playing one of the side cap locations. And actually, Polar Highlands side caps can be a lot of fun. We have the Gamma Cap active, which I believe is the one behind a giant mountain. The giant mountain is an excellent sniping location, but I don't know if we're going to see sniping or more brawling from these teams. Okay, both teams are ready. So let's get this launched. I don't know if anyone else will be interested in watching it, but I want to see a range game played out at some point in this match. Both teams electing to brawl on the lighter tonnage drops. As we get to the higher tonnage, there becomes a real possibility of playing an ER large Snorfest or maybe some GOS PPC or something of that nature. I find the positioning can be interesting maybe with cap plays, but this is not a range drop deck here. Skyrange is a Terra. Team Optic bringing gargoyles with, mid-range vomit, but there's also a lot of red lasers packed onto those mechs as well. We do have ERPPCs. 3 ERPPC on the Orion Hero, the Skull. That is actually has a set of 8 quirks, so that could be alphaing them. And this Executioner, 3 ERPPC as well, does not have the quirk, has to fire in groups. And then the Ambush, which is the Sunspider hero, is running 4 large pulse lasers, so another mid-range vomit mech. They might be playing range. I mean, the Gargoyles have a lot of speed, but given the rest of that loadout, okay, Executioner also has speed, but, they might be playing a range controlling strat here, depending on what their opponents have. GOS, ER large, only 3 ER large there on Master Pig's Direwolf. You can alpha all 3, or you can run 4 or even 5 ER large on the Direwolf. And Crescent Reaper here is running 5 ER large, and then you just make sure that you fire them in groups of 2 and 1. Deathstrike GOS with heavy large ER meads, so mid-range GOS vomit and GOS, and just ER meads no heavy large or anything, so that is mid-range vomit decisively on those GOS vomit mechs. Now we have that Piranha again. Night Wraith has been doing quite well with the Piranha. There we go. Yeah, 15 micropulse, same as the previous drops. Now, because it is Gauss Rifle Direwolves, and they didn't even try to go for the cap here with that Piranha. Piranha's off scouting around Theta. The fight is going to be over Gamma cap. And those direwolves are not moving from
They have resource point Gamma.
Bandits. Reaper Squadron has taken up. I mean, this is beyond optimal range. They were expecting to get pushed, and they're setting up to receive. That's what I'm reading into this with the positioning of the Mad Cats and direwolves. But this is actually, they're conceding the cap. They are now going to have to try and push with these mid-range Gauss Vomit, long-range Gauss Ear Large traders into this mid-range Vomit here from the Bandit Reaper Squadron. So the Gargoyle speed, I mean, they took that to try and get the cap early, and they did succeed at getting the cap here, the Sky Rangers of Terra Team Optic, but they didn't even need to have Gargoyles to get that. I mean, cap has been effectively just conceded, the cap control here from Bandit Reaper Squadron, despite bringing the Piranha. And there's no way the Piranha is going to be able to sneak the cap here the way that it's going to be covered. So this is going to be 5 mid-range mechs trading off against 4 mid-range, long-range mechs. So that is, I mean, there's the ERPPCs on Team Optic as well. So I'm not sure who has the advantage here in this 5v4 trading situation. Depending on the range, it clearly would favor Team Optic, but those direwolves might be able to outtrade the executioners at that extreme range. Now, what is the ammo count on these mechs? Can I get into the screen safely here?
Artillery strike online.
Got 32 rounds. That is not that high considering how stationary these trades might be. And 34 rounds for Ulysses. Now, some of those shots might have already been fired. Did the direwolves bring a lot of ammo? 54 rounds here for Master Pig. Now will be 52 as that shot goes out.
Artillery strike online.
50 rounds here for Crescent Reaper. Now, there is no ammunition being used on the side of Team Optic. Those Mad Cats could run out in an extremely long trading scenario, but there's only 7 minutes remaining in this match. The spawns on Polar Highlands require a lot of walking to start off with. No significant damage yet, but the Sky Rangers of Terra have a damage lead here. I doubt very much that anything is open, but let's take a look. Crescent Reaper, an open arm, but that is the shield arm, or maybe it has a heat sink or something in it. Master Pig, side torso is looking at orange. Ulysses also orange arm or side torso, but nothing meaningful yet. 90%, 87%. Taking a look here at Team Optic, Optic Seagull, kind of fronting the team there in their positioning, 90%, but nothing open. So there's only 6 minutes remaining here. Because of the nature of the one cap situation, there needs to be a push from the Bandit Reaper Squadron right about now. I mean, they do have that Piranha. So if they can get the full kill, they can use that Piranha to go get one of the other caps. I mean, they might even take Theta here as a strategic decision. Now, Theta's off limits. If a team takes it, they have to kill the opposing team, all of their mechs before time runs out, or else they end up losing the match, regardless of what else is on the screen at the end of the drop. But because they are getting behind in caps, and because these direwolves and Mad Cats, if they're forced to try and cap after killing the opposing mechs, they might run into a time issue. Taking Theta might be a strategic choice here. that should be considered. I mean, there's still 5 minutes remaining. They're getting to that territory there where they actually do have to completely kill all the Sky Rangers of Terra mechs, or else they end up losing the drop on caps. So taking a cap early here, you get into that situation where these gargoyles are faster than your Mad Cats and Direwolves. They can just run away and hide and take the match win. But you know, damage percentages, nothing's critical on anyone as far as I can see. 78%, nothing open. I mean, damage is a little bit spread here. There are torsos that are getting weak, but nothing's open. Now, here we go. Pro 420 is pushed up to a close range trade. But that does not favor them. These ranges here, with those micro lasers coming into play, am I dealing with a bit of a bug here? There's a head open on Fro 420, but nothing else is open. Now CT's open. Yeah, they're getting pushed, counter pushed by those gargoyles. The gargoyles have those ER micro lasers that give them a DPS advantage once that 200 meters or 150 meters is closed. But the Bandit Reaper Squadron needed to do something. This counter push, that's a high risk strategy here, but they do want to pick up the kills as well. Team Optic, the kills are worth more points than the drop win. The drop win's only worth 5 points. Each of these kills is going to together total up to 9 points total if they can get the full wipe. Now Sniper Man is open CT in the Gargoyle leading the charge. Black Cayman is open center torso as well. Direwolf goes down though. Huntington opens side torso. That's a Clan XL engine, so not a big deal. Sniper Man goes down. That is points toward the side of the Bandit Reaper Squadron. Whoa, what happened here? Huntington is way too far ahead of the remains of their team. Their team stopped pushing behind them. And now that Piranha is trying to eat up that Sun Spider. Piranha's got an open leg. And how is Master Pig looking? Master Pig, the remaining direwolf here. Open side torso. Now, there are kills that could be claimed here. The drop has gone the way of Team Optic. That is decided. Piranha goes down. Now, whether or not Master Pig can pick up another 2 points here with getting even 1 kill, 2 points per kill here. Master Pig is... Oh man, that Sun Spider's open just about everywhere. Team Optic open on the side torso. Some of the PPCs already missing off of their mech. That Gargoyle is coming in to finish things. Yeah, just too much DPS. All the targets are heavily wounded on the Sky Rangers of Terra, but they pick up the win here, and with it, a lot of points, which is, you know, the whole point of things here. That's why they pushed out. I do believe. I believe they wanted to get those final kills before the match timer ran out. So even though they were advantaged, they elected to push. A somewhat risky push, as we see a number of their mechs heavily wounded at the end. But they weren't going to risk letting the points get away from them by ending up taking a cap win. going through the damage totals. So Optic Seagull for Team Optic, 720 damage with that ERPPC Orion Hero, leading the top damage of the match. Executioner putting up 600 with also 3 ERPPCs. So definitely seeing how the stationary fight was kind of, well, it was benefiting the mechs with extreme range trade type builds. But the Gargoyles, Sunspiders, not that far behind. When that push came in, their high DPS allowed them to put out some rather significant numbers there. 472, 420, even 334 before going down from Sniper Man. Over on the Bandit Reaper Squadron, top damage, unsurprisingly, coming out of one of the Direwolves at just under 700 damage for Crescent Reaper. The second Direwolf coming up with 550. Lower damage numbers out of the Mad Cats. The one Mad Cat who I guess didn't find any angles before peeking up kind of in a solo peak and going down shockingly fast, but not overly surprising if you had the spectator camera and you knew where everyone was positioned. Rana managed to put out almost 400 damage there from Night Wraith, which in a assault on assault clash that was as stationary as it was, no real flanking angle. I don't know where that damage came from on that Piranha. Strikes, I mean, I don't know if it had the time to put out. I know it's a very high DPS build, that micro pulse laser Piranha, and they did have some alone time with the Sunspider, but 389, quite impressive out of that 20-ton mech. Wow, both teams are locked in, so here we go. Last drop of the match. I did not quite catch that tonnage. I think it was a 490 on the one team, might have been a 480 or 485 on the other. Maximum tonnage is 500, but some of the Dar was already used up on the side of the Bandits Reaper Squadron. So they would be looking at Kodiaks as the other 100-ton mech of choice. Or they might be bringing Executioners or Blood Asps on this drop. Very popular choices. Now, which drop? We are playing on Epsilon cap point. Okay. I'm looking at the Skyranger's Terra, fighting out of the red trunks here. We've got Magcat Mark IIB with mid-range DACA. We have Kodiak with mid-range DACA ER-Peep. Kodiak 1 with a single Gauss, 2 large pulse, and 7 ER Mead. A build that I've started to see pop up in comp. I still don't know what's up with it. We've got 2 large pulse, 5 ER Mead, mid-range Vomit, Executioner, with some red lasers stacked on top, and then the second Executioner, 3 ER PPCs and those 10 ER micro lasers. Now that Executioner for Huntington, if their team ends up pushing, which is what I kind of see here for their strat, that Executioner is going to run very, very hot. And over in the blue, we have Bandit Reaper Squadron, Pro 420s bringing the mid-range, well, 2 large pulse, then a whole bunch of small pulse with ghost heat and some ER micro lasers. So that is a brawl Executioner, just with a little bit of mid-range poke. We have similar out of Master Peg, just avoiding the ghost heat on those small pulse, and then Gargoyle with small pulse ER micro. That is that build has to go in and hug some faces to get into range. So this is definitely a push deck. Just it's a lot of red lasers here. Now, one Executioner fell to low ground. Team had to hold up the push here, but now it's rejoined. So 4 Executioners and 1 Gargoyle. They do have some large pulse lasers here, but the majority of their firepower is in those red lasers. So they are looking to get into that 150-meter range. So Epsilon Cap has been claimed by Team Optic. They are taking a high ground position above it. And now they're looking to see where their opponents are as they are showing up late to Epsilon. Because, well, we know they've headed off to look at Zimbabwe and the purple trees on their way in. Oh no, Crescent Reaper. Oh, they managed to make it. Okay. I was getting worried there. Wish was going to have to stall out a second time. They're taking an extreme flank angle here with their red laser brawl. Now, we've got some large pulsages going out, so the two teams are aware of each other's positioning. And those PPCs are starting to come in. Now, Bandit Reaper Squadron just needs to push. They can't hold back. There is a range advantage on their opponents, so the faster they close the range, the better, and the cap is ticking. So they don't have all day to try and find an angle. They could take another 3, 4, even 5 minutes to walk about and pick a better push path, but I don't know if there's a better one available than this. These range mechs for Team Optic are having some issues firing around each other, I imagine, here. But there's a lot of damage coming in. These executioners, oh no, Crescent Reaper, open CT already. Master Pig fell down. Open arm kind of matters on that executioner with those red lasers positioned in the arm. Now, there's a split decision here. Ulysses is dropped to go after Sniper Man's Kodiak, but Master Pig is just continuing to push in solo. Isolating, picking off the mech in the low ground, dropping into the low ground, picking off Sniper Man before climbing back up might have been the better choice here. Sniper Man still staying alive there with an open side torso. Master Pig has gone down in the back. No mechs have gone down yet on Team Optic. And Crescent Reaper, now they have 2 mechs in low ground. They do pick up the 1 kill. The first kill is only worth a single point. If they can get a second kill is going to be worth 2 points. Ulysses open CT, goes down, and it's all up to Fro 420. Can they find one more kill with their open CT? No, they get dropped from behind. Madcat Mark II-B with those arms can position itself to shoot down. Black came in, was open CT, and has some mask or heat damage as well. That would have been the likely target there, but Fro 420 just goes down a little too soon. That was a pretty clean win. Just overall, coming into this match, Team Optic was behind in points in the division, but now they've picked up a significant number of points. Just going to end up getting the last little bit of information put in here to make the point total accurate. To my accounting, Team Optic has picked up 68 out of a possible 70 points, just losing in the 1v1, getting a clean sweep in the 2v2s and the 5v5 portion of this match. Bandits Reaper Squadron, they picked up the 1 win in the 1v1 and picked up kills in most of the other drops, so they end up getting 9 points, but without any match wins, that's a significant gap there. And they were coming in with the higher point total before this week, so well done from Team Optic. So just going to run through the damage totals real quick here from the last drop. The Crescent Reaper going in early, going down early, coming up with a low damage number. Night Wraith in the Gargoyle, not doing all that much either. Ulysses leading the way with 600 damage for their team. But ultimately, if you look at the damage totals, Team 1, damage totals on Team 2, the Team Optic, Skyrange of Terra, they did end up putting out significantly more damage for most of their pilots. Top pilot, Savronius. I gotta find these pronunciations. 660 damage in that Madcat Mark II-B. Black came in 580. Sniper Man almost 600 damage before going down, and just quite impressive damage totals there on the receive against that push deck. that is it for me. I don't think I've forgotten anything here today. I hope not. I'm going to be coming back in, what did I say, 15 hours from now. I'm casting another match on this channel, maybe 14 and a half, something of that nature. So hit a follow on the channel, and if you like watching this competitive action, we've got some Div A matches coming out on this channel in 14 hours approximately. So I'll see you there. It's been Therax. Thanks to the teams for letting us cast their match here so everyone can watch. Thanks for the viewers showing up, showing some support for the MechWarrior Online competitive scene in general, and for these two teams in specific. Very much appreciated. That's it. I'm cutting the stream. I'm doing it.